again, what they'll have on the house. So I like to use this picture here because it shows the whole roof and the inverter. So I'll emphasize to them, hey, you're gonna have these beautiful monocrystalline black tier 1 panels on the roof. The beautiful thing about us is we do all of our conduit, which is like this metal piping that you see down by the inverter. You don't see any of it on the roof. We hide all of our conduit in the attic so it looks sharp. You just got these beautiful black panels on the roof. And then from there, the energy comes down into this inverter on the side of your house. The inverter does two main things. Converts the energy from direct current to alternate current energy, just a safe current to use in your house. But what it also does is monitors all the production of your system, okay? So that's big for you because for 20 years, this is where you emphasize the goodness of the 20 years, not the bad component of it. For 20 years, Vivint is gonna completely service, maintain, and insure your system. Okay, so you have nothing to worry about for 20 years. You just buy cheaper power. They take care of everything. And to make sure that all that happens on the back end of that, they guarantee that your system will produce the amount of energy that it's supposed to produce every year. And if it doesn't, they have to cut you a check for the difference. So you'll have access on your phone, computer, tablet, wherever you want to put it. I don't think I have it on my iPad. It's just on my phone. I always show them this on my phone, the SolarEdge monitoring app. Okay, but I'll pull up the SolarEdge monitoring app and show them. So you'll be able to track it, Vivint will be able to track it, we'll be able to track it, so that you know you've got nothing to worry about for 20 years. They completely take care of everything. You just buy cheaper power, okay? And that's all the hardware you'll have. You got the panels on the roof, and then you got the inverter on the side of the house. Okay, so 13 minutes later, we got Launch IHD to come up. So we click that Launch IHD. This is where we get to create the system with them. And again, this is where I really get to emphasize how the PPA works. So you explain net metering and solar while you're showing them the ComEd bill, their ComEd bill, and the example ComEd bill, but you explain the product when you get to this page. At least that's what I do. Okay, so they're not giving us a ton of space here, which is weird as heck, but whatever. So, got a couple things here. Each of these panels, let me see. We're gonna have to get a little creative here to get more panels on this roof. So, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click that back up. I'm gonna see if I can add, so don't worry, this is a little bit more detail, but I just wanna make sure we get the best system for. So this plus button is how you add new panels. This circular button is how you rotate them. I'm gonna get kind of creative here. So here's what I'm gonna do. Select all these. Select those for now. Then I'm gonna sweep the rest. Let me slide this in here. Boom. It's a weird looking system. Now, you always emphasize, this is where I emphasize, so what we're looking at today is just an initial proposal. I'm not a designer. I just want to make sure you get an accurate price. Vivint's software is extremely conservative with where they will allow us to put panels. Okay, so I emphasize this light green around the edges, how that's the fire code setback. They account for way too much space for that. Okay, they err on the side of extreme caution because they don't want you to see this system that is perfect, takes control of all your energy, and then when you get to that final design again in 2-3 weeks, when you're making that final determination to go solar, where you get let down because we actually remove panels. They would rather have it where you're adding panels to make it better for you. So this is going to change a lot of times when we get to that final design. This is just an initial proposal so you can see what the numbers would look like. I want you to know your monthly payment so that we know that you're saving money and this makes sense for you. Again, I emphasize throughout the whole process, saving money and this making sense. Okay, so let's just add. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Come on, cooperate. What? See, this isn't cooperating very well.
Coconut and raspberry?
Oops.
It is sweet.
Boom. That's what I wanted. Okay, now we're gonna go. Okay, so this isn't gonna be the prettiest looking thing. Okay, and then let's do over here. Usually you want it to do all this. Let's try this. All right, where are we at? All right, this is exactly where I want to be. So, you try to stick with the southern facing pitches. Again, emphasize it's going to look a lot cleaner when you get to final design. But in each of these squares, you can see the amount of hours. I know you got to leave in like 5-10 minutes, but so we won't get to that now. This is where I emphasize top left corner here. Okay, this 7,145 kilowatt hours, the big green number. That's the amount of energy that you are guaranteed under contract from Vivint to get. So if you produce less than that, they have to cut you a check for the difference. So that number is extremely conservative because they've got hundreds of thousands of customers. They don't want to be cutting checks every year if your system doesn't produce what it's supposed to. So they err on the side of caution with that. Now this underneath that estimated annual consumption of 7,898 kilowatt hours, that's what you guys use yearly. And then what is right under that, PV watts estimate, we want that number to match up with the 7,898. So I'm gonna click this check final values. Because again, they guarantee that amount of production and they're gonna service, maintain, insure your system for the full 20 years. Your rate will never go up, but they don't wanna have to cut you checks each year. So that 7,163 is what you're guaranteed, but the 7,766 is what you're expected to produce. Okay, so what I would generally do, and again, you will, in this case, what I'm gonna do is take 2 of these panels off this roof. You know, we're gonna keep it there. So you want this number to be within about 100 to 200 max. Okay, so you're right about 100% offset, 7766 compared to 7898. So from here, I'm gonna click this button on the top right corner with the arrow pointing left, save design. So I click the floppy disk to save design, and you always have to click that check final values that I clicked before you save it over here. Okay, so you click check final design over on the left, save, and then down here at the bottom, upload design, continue. And you can like rewind this to see exactly where we're at. Okay, it's gonna load like crazy for a little bit. And this where I emphasize.
Are you able to send this to me like right now?
Yeah, should be able to. Once this is loading, I'm like, so basically in like 2 to 3 minutes, we'll be able to, see what your monthly payment's gonna be. And if you're saving money, this makes sense, then again, that's where we'll have to do that credit check, but we'll make sure you're saving some dough. Okay, close. So once you do that launch IHD, it's gonna open up a couple other boxes. We're still not doing that credit check consent form, but what we will need to do, these buttons are gonna open up. So the first thing is confirm sales price. Don't show the customer this.